Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. United reportedly lined up a midfield transfer alternative, and disappointing news ahead of the Bournemouth clash. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. United identify alternative midfield transfer target. Manchester United will sign at least one new midfielder in 2026, of that there is no doubt. And if the Red Devils get their way, 2 or even 3 new faces could arrive in the engine room. Manchester United are now vying for the signature of a Sunderland midfielder who would represent a much cheaper option than Carlos Baleba, though he might be even more effective on the pitch. The Red Devils are all in for Sunderland's Noah Siddiqui, who was raised and played in Belgium before choosing to represent DR Congo at international level. The 20-year-old joined Sunderland from Belgian side USG over the summer for roughly £15 million. He made an instant impact in England, starting all 15 of their Premier League matches and helping fire Regis Lebrie's side to a red-hot start. Chelsea are also monitoring the player closely, but a move to Man United would surely hold greater appeal given Siddiqui would stand a far greater chance of breaking into the starting 11 from day one. The Old Trafford hierarchy views Siddiqui as a top-draw talent whose high-energy style of play and excellent ball retention skills would perfectly complement the current options like Kobbie Mainoo. While the Black Cats would be reluctant to part with one of their key assets midway through a promising season, United are reportedly prepared to submit a formal bid in the January transfer window to gazump their rivals. This aggressive approach signals the club's intent to secure their midfield future rapidly, making Siddiqui a primary focus in their upcoming transfer strategy. Bad news before United host Bournemouth. Manchester United are gearing up to face the challenge of Bournemouth in the Premier League on Monday night. A commanding victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers away last week has put the Red Devils back on the winning track, a crucial momentum they must maintain on home turf. United currently sits 6th in the league table, just 1 point adrift of the Champions League places, making every upcoming match, including the one against Bournemouth, absolutely vital. The positive momentum from the convincing win against Wolves offers new hope for fans hungry for consistency from their beloved team. The victory not only secured 3 important points but also showcased the sharp and effective attacking potential of United under Ruben Amorim's management. However, maintaining performance at Old Trafford remains a distinct challenge, considering the subpar results in several recent home fixtures. The players must ensure they deliver their absolute best in front of their home crowd to keep the pressure on the teams in the Premier League's top 4. Monday's match against Bournemouth is a platform for Manchester United to prove they can overcome pressure and convert draws or defeats at home into victories. The need for this win is pressing, given the club's ambition to not only secure European football but also to remain in the title hunt. With the fine margins between the top teams, dropping points in a winnable match will be highly detrimental in the long run. Therefore, the entire squad is demanded to focus and give their all on the pitch. United's season under Ruben Amorim thus far can be described as a stop-start or hit-and-miss campaign, full of inconsistency that has frustrated supporters. On several occasions, they have failed to capitalize on golden opportunities at home to secure maximum points, notably against teams like West Ham United and Everton. From those 2 home games, the Red Devils managed to scrape together only 1 point, a record far below the expectations for a club of Manchester United stature. This failure stings because had they managed to win both matches, their position in the table would be significantly better, and they could even be fiercely competing at the top. If United had indeed secured victories in the 2 aforementioned home matches, they would currently be in an extremely tight title race, trailing league leaders Arsenal by just 3 points. This reality underscores the steep price of the inconsistency shown by the team at various points. Therefore, the upcoming fixture against Bournemouth is a critically important and must-win game if United are to keep their title hopes alive. There is no longer any room for error or unnecessary dropped points, especially when playing in front of their loyal supporters at Old Trafford. Ahead of the match against Bournemouth, Ruben Amorim delivered less than encouraging news regarding the fitness of 3 players, confirming 2 will be unavailable and 1 is a doubt. Harry Maguire is confirmed to be ruled out of Monday's match due to a hamstring injury he sustained in the draw against Tottenham Hotspur before the last international break. Another defender, Matthijs de Ligt, is also sidelined and unavailable. He continues to struggle with a back problem picked up since the win over Crystal Palace and has missed the last 2 games. Meanwhile, the condition of forward Benjamin Sesko remains to be seen, as he has been struck down by food poisoning and is currently not training with the first team, though there is hope he might recover in time. Further elaborating on the injury update, Amorim explicitly stated that Maguire and De Ligt are confirmed out or unavailable for the squad that will host the Cherries at Old Trafford. Specifically for De Ligt, the manager revealed that the player is still feeling a bit of pain in his back, and as of now, there is no definitive date for when he will return to the pitch to reinforce the team. The condition of Benjamin Sesko, although due to food poisoning and not a physical injury, remains a serious concern for the medical and coaching staff. With just 2 training sessions remaining before Monday's match, Sesko's chance of making the squad still exists, depending on how quickly he recovers from the food poisoning he suffered. Despite having to contend with injury issues and inconsistency, Manchester United must prepare to face Bournemouth, who are, ironically, in poor form under manager Andoni Iraola. The Cherries have only managed to collect 2 points from their last 6 league matches, a record that should give United a psychological advantage. However, history is not in United's favour, as Bournemouth have remained unbeaten in their last 4 meetings against the Red Devils, a statistic that demands extra vigilance from Amorim's side. The fact that Bournemouth managed to secure 2 victories at Old Trafford within that record serves as a serious reminder to Amorim's troops that they must not underestimate their opponents. Man United poised to offload style in defining move. Manchester United's protracted overhaul under the stewardship of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos has arguably never felt quite so delicate. The latest indication of a major strategic shift hinges on Bruno Fernandes, whose future is once again a major talking point. According to the report, sources fully expect bids for the club skipper, with Saudi Arabian giants Al Hilal and Al Ittihad ratcheting up their interest. The mooted figure of around £70 million is rather telling, viewed internally as the sort of windfall that could fundamentally reshape United's next recruitment drive. Fernandes is described as United's most saleable asset, and the piece stresses a growing willingness to cash in while his valuation remains high. One source suggests that clubs expect bids, a clear sign this is no longer just speculation but something approaching an inevitability. United's ambitious pursuit of midfield reinforcements, notably Elliot Anderson and Carlos Baleba, features heavily in the rationale. As the article neatly puts it, Fernandes has been earmarked as someone worth cashing in on to help bankroll those moves. In a market constrained by stringent financial rules and years of poor allocation of funds, it is entirely logical that Ineos views controlled asset sales as a crucial tool for renewal. Whilst there is sound logic behind selling an asset at the very peak of its market value, the inherent risk remains considerable. Fernandes continues to produce performances at a level few others in Ruben Amorim's squad can consistently match. The original report highlights that he is rated as United's best performer this season and is top for assists and second for goals. These metrics demonstrate far more than simple productivity, they illustrate profound influence. In the immediate term, the loss of Fernandes would be a heavy burden on an evolving system that is already struggling for consistency. Anderson and Baleba are undoubtedly promising talents, but they represent potential, not guaranteed output. Amorim is still diligently molding this side into an aggressive, possession-heavy unit, and a significant leadership vacuum could necessitate a tactical upheaval he would probably rather avoid. Fernandes may be reaching the latter stage of his career, but his statistics show absolutely no signs of diminishing returns. Given that some elite players are now extending their peak well into their mid to late 30s, age should not be the sole justification for his premature exit. If United ultimately decide this is their final opportunity to secure a substantial fee, then a summer sale could indeed underpin the long-stated ambition of fielding a younger, more coherent midfield unit. But let there be no mistake. This is a calculated gamble that will define the next chapter of the project. A captain with Fernandes' prodigious output does not simply disappear without serious repercussions. Fernandes remains the veritable heartbeat of the team, and selling him feels like yet another instance of the club taking a step backwards now in the vague hope of moving forward later. The Old Trafford faithful have heard similar promises before, where a major figure departs and the supposed replacements are meant to usher in a new era, only for the squad to subsequently regress. Ruben Amorim is now into his second term, and many fans would argue he is yet to be furnished with a squad truly worthy of his tactical vision. Removing his most consistent performer could very easily destabilize any nascent progress. Plenty of supporters will look at Fernandes' exemplary numbers and question why the club is even entertaining this prospect. The assessment of him as United's best player speaks volumes, something the fans witness firsthand every single match day. Allowing him to leave to finance the acquisition of Anderson or Baleba, talented as they may be, feels like an undeniable downgrade in the immediate term. The overwhelming disappointment stems from the deep-seated fear that United will, once again, dispense with proven quality before they have established a stable, truly competitive core. The supporters are acutely aware that the midfield still lacks both genuine depth and leadership. Losing the captain when the whole project is still so precarious feels nothing short of reckless. Until United can unequivocally demonstrate that their recruitment strategy can deliver sustained and tangible improvement, the fans will remain profoundly wary of decisions such as this.
Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.